One Piece is a long-running manga and anime series with a massive cast of characters. With the final saga closing in, it's inevitable that some of the characters who us fans hold dear to our heart will die before the series ends. But who will they be? In this video, we'll discuss some of the characters who are most likely to die before One Piece ends. We'll also talk about why we think they are in danger and what their deaths could mean for the story. Starting off, we have Usopp. Our beloved character Usopp is a member of the Straw Hat Pirates and is a sniper and an inventor of the crew. He's been with Luffy ever since the beginning and has faced many challenges along the way. He's also come close to death a few times, most recently in his attempt to fight the Tobi-Roppo, Ulti and Page 1. Usopp's dream is to become a great warrior of the sea, but he's also a coward and a deceiver. This conflict between his dream and his personality could lead to his death. This is further reinforced by the fact in the Little Garden arc, Usopp said he will become the great warrior of the seas even if he were to die alone on a deserted island. We all know most of what Usopp has said in the Little Garden arc, may it be lies or his dreams, have turned out to be true. Not only this, Usopp, the fourth Straw Hat member, is symbolized by the number 4, which is a number considered extremely unlucky in Japanese as it is used to represent death. It's extremely likely Usopp will die before One Piece ends and he could sacrifice his own life to protect his friends or to achieve his dream. Usopp's death would be a tragic loss, but it would also be a fitting end for a character who has always been fighting for his dreams. Next up, we have Monkey D. Garp. Garp is one of the legends of the Navy in One Piece and he's a character that us fans dearly love. He's incredibly strong even in his old age and he's always been willing to put his life on the line for what he believes in. Recently, Garp has found himself in quite a bit of trouble. He invaded the pirate island all by himself and after facing off against several powerful members of the Blackbeard Pirates, including his former pupil 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢, he has been defeated. We know Oda takes a lot of inspirations from Naruto, so although Garp's death hasn't officially been confirmed by Oda, it's possible Oda is setting up Garp to die and use his death as a motivational tool to build up Kobe's strength, similar to how Jiraiya's death by pain motivated Naruto to get even stronger and avenge his mentor's death. Also, let's not forget, even if 𝙲𝚘𝚙 somehow shows pity to his former mentor Garp and shields him from getting killed, Blackbeard is on his way back to the pirate island. Similar to what he did with Ace, Blackbeard intends to use Garp as a bargaining chip to make Hachinosu an official country. This might lead to Marineford version 2. Moreover, Garp is an old man and Oda has a history of killing off old characters as we saw with Whitebeard. Garp is a very skilled fighter and has always been able to overcome challenges. He may be able to defeat the Blackbeard Pirates and escape from the pirate island. Whatever happens, it's clear that Garp is in a lot of danger and his fate is swaying more towards his death than his life. Another D member who is fated to die just like Garp is Blackbeard. Blackbeard is one of the most dangerous and powerful pirates in the One Piece world. He's also one of the most ambitious and he's set his sights on becoming the Pirate King, not for the sake of being the freest person alive in all seas, but for the sake of ruling over the world. Blackbeard has been targeting Luffy's family ever since the start of One Piece. He killed Ace and his dad Whitebeard in Marineford and now he's set to kill Garp. He has also used deception and cruel tactics to steal two most powerful devil fruits, the Gura Gura no Mi and the Yami Yami no Mi. This makes him incredibly powerful and both in terms of power and ideology, he's a major threat to Luffy and his crew. It's likely that Blackbeard will die before One Piece ends. He's a major antagonist and is set up to be Luffy's final opponent. Luffy isn't the type to kill his opponents, but it's fair to assume that Blackbeard will meet his end in some way. There are a few ways that Blackbeard could die. He could be killed by Luffy in a final battle. He could also be killed by another Yonko, possibly Shanks, or by the world government. It's also possible that he could die from his own ambition, as he's always pushing himself to become more powerful. Moving on, we have Shanks. Shanks is one of the most beloved characters in One Piece and is also one of the most powerful. Just like Blackbeard, he's a Yonko, which means he's one of the 4 strongest pirates in the world. He's also a former member of the Roger Pirates, which means he's seen and done a lot in his life. Shanks is a mentor to Luffy and has always been there for him. He gave Luffy his straw hat, which is a symbol of hope and adventure. He also saved Luffy's life when he was a child. There's a lot of speculation about Shanks' fate in One Piece. Some people think he'll die before the series ends, whilst others think he'll live to see Luffy become the Pirate King. One particular reason why people think Shanks might die is because he's a family to Luffy, just like Ace, and there is a common trend of Blackbeard hunting down Luffy's loved ones. Second is scar on Shanks' face, which he received from his fight with Blackbeard. This scar might be a god tier foreshadowing from Oda that Blackbeard is capable of severely hurting Shanks. Thus, Shanks might die in the hands of Blackbeard in the future. Of course, there's also a chance that Shanks will live to see Luffy become the Pirate King. He's a strong and experienced pirate and he's always been able to overcome challenges. If all goes well, he might also be able to make peace with Blackbeard due to the common goal of defeating the world government. Next up, we have a character who fans would love to see him die. He's Akainu. Akainu is the current fleet admiral of the Marines and he's one of the most powerful and feared characters in the One Piece world. He's also one of the most ruthless and cold-hearted characters in the series and he has shown no qualms about killing innocent people in the name of absolute justice. Akainu's actions at Ohara, where he killed almost all of the civilians on the island, and at Marineford, where he killed Ace, have made him a major target for many people in the One Piece world. It is likely that someone will eventually try to kill Akainu for his crimes, and it is possible that he will die before One Piece ends. There are a few reasons why Akainu might die before One Piece ends. First, he's a very public figure and he's always in the crosshairs of pirates and revolutionaries. Second, he's a very powerful character and he would be a major prize for anyone who could defeat him. Third, he's a very controversial figure and his death would be a major event in the One Piece world. Of course, there is also a chance that Akainu will survive until the end of One Piece. He's a very powerful character and he has survived many dangerous situations in the past. However, given his actions and his enemies, it is more likely that he will die before the series ends. Next in list is a character which no fan wants to see him die before One Piece ends. He's our favorite Baka Marimo swordsman, Zoro. Zoro is one of the Straw Hat Pirates' most popular and beloved characters. He's also one of the strongest and is always willing to put his life on the line for his friends. However, there's a lot of speculation that Zoro might die before One Piece ends, as seen from his actions in Baratie, Thriller Bark, Sabaody, Wano, and many more. Zoro is a very driven character and is always pushing himself to become stronger. This could lead to him making reckless decisions that could get him killed. Additionally, Zoro has a lot of enemies, including the world government, the Shichibukai, and the Yonko. It's possible during the course of fighting one of these enemies, he will eventually be killed. To add to this, Zoro's dream is to become the world's greatest swordsman. This is a very difficult goal to achieve and it's possible that Zoro will die in the process. Of course, there's also a chance that Zoro will survive until the end of One Piece. He's a very strong and skilled swordsman and he's always been able to overcome challenges. However, given his personality, drive, and enemies, it's more likely that he will die before the series ends. Another character who is destined to die and whose death will be as painful as Zoro's is Jinbei. Jinbei is a former Shichibukai and one of the Straw Hat Pirates' newest members. He's a powerful fishman with a strong sense of justice and is always willing to put his life on the line for his friends. Jinbei has made it clear that he would be willing to die for Luffy's dream of becoming the Pirate King. He's also said that he wants to protect the future of the fisherman race. Given Jinbei's personality and goals, it's possible that he will die before One Piece ends. He could be killed in battle or he could sacrifice himself to protect Luffy or the fisherman. However, this is based off pure speculation. Based on the data we've gathered, there's also a chance that Jinbei will survive until the end of One Piece. He's a powerful and skilled fighter and has always been able to overcome challenges. However, given his willingness to die for Luffy and the fisherman, it's more likely that he will die before the series ends. Moving on, we have a group of characters whose true identity and roles have been recently unveiled. They are the 5 elders, aka the Goroses. The Goroses are the highest ranking officials in the world government and they are some of the most powerful and influential people in the One Piece world. They are also some of the most mysterious characters in the series and their true goals and motivations are unknown. The Goroses are a major obstacle to Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates' quest to become the Pirate King. They are also a threat to the freedom of the world and they must be defeated in order for Luffy to achieve his dream. Given the Goroses' power and influence, it's likely that they will die before One Piece ends. They could be killed in battle or they could be assassinated by one of Luffy's allies. They could also be overthrown by a revolution or they could simply die of old age. If they aren't immortal, that is. Whatever the case may be, the Gorosei's deaths would be a major event in the One Piece world. It would signal the end of an era and it would open the door to a new era of freedom and prosperity. Next up is someone who has to die for Luffy to go anywhere near achieving his dream. He, or probably a she, is Imu-sama, Gorosei's pimp and the one who currently rules over the One Piece world. From from shadows. We've only seen Emu in silhouette so far, and in every single scene, Emu is introduced. Major events unfold that shake up the One Piece world, to have the power to sit on the empty throne in Merijua, and have even the 5 elders bowing down before him. Emu is clearly a very powerful and important character. Emu was the one who ordered the assassination of the Nefertari family, and he is responsible for a lot of sufferings in the One Piece world. If Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates are to truly free the world from the grip of the world government, Emu-sama will have to die. It's possible that Emu-sama will be killed by Luffy or one of his allies. It's also possible that his regime will be overthrown by the revolutionary army, and he will be killed by its leader, Monkey D. Dragon, in the process. No matter what happens, Emu-sama's death is inevitable. If Emu doesn't die, Luffy will never achieve his dream. Hence, One Piece will not end, which is totally impossible. The final character in this video who has the second highest chance of dying below Emu-sama is Luffy. Think about the injuries Luffy has sustained so far. Even before entering the Grand Line, Luffy got really deep wounds from his fights with Don Krieg and Arlong. While it may not seem like a big deal anymore, Luffy's gears have also sharply impacted his lifespan. Luffy's desire to save Ace during the Impel Down arc and the Marineford arc made him push his limits very far. With the use of Ivankov's Devil Fruit to have a chance at saving his dear brother, Luffy sacrificed a lot of his lifespan. Therefore, sometime between obtaining the One Piece and the end of the story, Luffy will die. From what we have seen, Luffy parallels Rotzer from head to toe. Despite being a unique character, Luffy is a lot like Rotzer. This was noted by Shanks as well when he talked to Rayleigh. Following the formula of parallels, Luffy will likely die young, just like Rotzer did. This is because of the concept of inherited will in One Piece. Even if a bloodline is extinguished, a person's will can be carried on by someone else. While most pirates out there want the One Piece for fame, wealth, and power, Luffy wants to claim the Pirate King's title to have freedom. Now imagine an old Luffy stuck on the same island, stricken by illness, and settled down with a family. Does that sound like freedom to you? With Ace, the degree of freedom a person gets starts to diminish. One Piece is about the dreams of young men and having an adventurous spirit. One of the most likable things about Luffy is that he's not bound to the laws of the world. He does what he wants to. Oda will definitely not design a Luffy who is old and mature, restricted by responsibilities. The same way Kishimoto designed adult Naruto, Luffy represents the central aspect of the story, and to preserve the original traits that define the protagonist, carefreeness and pureness, it's highly likely Oda would rather kill off the character.